Hello and welcome again to my IGTV show. I'm Kaitia Lamore and I'm going to be sharing these on YouTube and IGTV. So for those of you watching this on YouTube, that is why it is a vertical video. And for those of you on IGTV, you're like, nothing's different. So there you go. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the idea of kind of when God establishes you, the pain that comes from that, the frustration, the stress, the confusion that might come in that time. I know for me, there's been a few different instances where it's almost like I've started over. I've moved to a new town, I've gone to a new school, and it's just like I'm starting over and I'm re-establishing or being reestablished in that field with people who maybe have never met me before. But I think the hardest people to prove even your growth or maturity to is those who are very, very familiar with you. Not all the time. There will be people who are familiar with you who obviously support you and everything, but there are a lot of times too where close friends or people that you've known for a long time, they're just like, who do you think you are? You know, and that's happened to me a few times in life. So this is going to start off in the Bible, coming from Matthew 13. And Jesus even talks about this. In his life, he obviously did a lot of miracles, a lot of teaching. Once God called him, once he was a grown man and an adult, God called him to start doing miracles, to start teaching, to start changing the way and the thinking of what people were accustomed to in like false religion and stuff. So he's been doing all this. We get to Matthew 13, and after he had been talking in a lot of parables and explaining things to people, he comes back to his hometown. And you would think they'd be like, hey, Jesus, like, oh my gosh, it's Jesus. Like, you came back and like, we love it. But instead, he was not honored in his own hometown. And I'll get into that after I read this. So the title of this part, this is Matthew 13, starting at verse 53, is A Prophet Without Honor. When Jesus had finished these parables, he moved on from there. Coming to his hometown, he began teaching the people in their synagogue, and they were amazed. Where did this man get this wisdom and these miraculous powers? They asked. Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary? And aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where then did this man get all these things? And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor except in his own town and in his own home. And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. So this is what's interesting, is when God is establishing you, and I'll use myself as an example. There's different times that I've experienced like growing pains or growth spurts, maturing as a person in my spiritual life and all that stuff. And I remember some of the easiest transitions for me were when it came to people who never met me before. I remember distinctly going from middle school, and middle school was kind of the worst for me. I don't know if you guys have that same history with middle school. A lot of people love middle school, they love high school, but middle school, that transition for me was kind of the worst. So I went from middle school and I was like going to high school. I was going to be a freshman and I was so excited to just start new. I was like, I'm gonna have a brand new identity. I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to be afraid. And I hope I meet a lot of people who have never met me before. I still did have some friends who were my friends from middle school that we ate lunch together in high school and stuff, but for me, I was just like, I just need a brand new thing. Like, I'm tired of being the scared girl, the shy girl, the girl who is just trying to fit in and trying to assimilate. I just want to be myself. And I just personally did that. I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of being afraid. I'm just going to move on. And it was so easy for me to do that around people who never met me because they had no previous notion of who I was. They couldn't be like, oh, you changed, you changed and you think you're somebody now. It's like, no, I've always been somebody. I just now have confidence to do that. And that happened a few times in life, changing jobs, changing cities, where I was just like, you know what a blessing to be around people who have never met me before. I didn't know them in high school. I didn't know them at my old church. And it wasn't like a bad thing. Like I was reinventing myself to be like this horrible person or whatever. It was just like, I just didn't want the burden and the baggage that came with like trying to convince people that I was growing. Because like they were saying about Jesus, they're like, we know who you are. We know your family. We know your sisters. We know your mama. We know your daddy. We know who he was. But like, how did you get all this knowledge and wisdom? And they didn't understand it. And this happens a lot within the changes that happen in your spiritual walk. Like I said, when God establishes you, like it wasn't that hard for me, you know, when I was just living my life and like, I'm going to have a new identity, I'm going to dress differently. Like this was my own decisions. I had control over it. But when it came to God establishing me in some things and the hard pruning process and shifting process that happened, a lot of healing had to happen, a lot of things had to be broken off of me and my personality, my character, my actions. When that happened, it's like I literally became a new creation. And this has been over like the last 3 or 4 years where I realized like I can't live like this before. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more in another video about the deception of not being yourself, because I just feel like I became almost like a shell of a person because I was spending years and years trying to fit in, trying to please other people. I didn't want to offend them. If I told the truth, I didn't want to offend them because of my personality. I didn't want to offend them because of my confidence. So I just became like a chameleon, like whatever you guys want, whatever makes you feel better, like that's what I'll do. And you just have to not do that. You have to come to a point in your life where you're just like, God, who did you make me to be? Who am I? Who did you create me to be? And you just have to walk in that. And there will be people who support that. And there will be people that you're shocked they don't support it. And they're just like, oh, you wrote a book. How's a little book thing going? Or, oh, you started this. How's that little project? And you're just like, this is not a project. This is my life, you know? And you try to explain it to them. But sometimes people can't go with you because they were never meant to be maybe in your life past a certain season. Or maybe they weren't meant to be in your life at all. Or maybe it's just an evolving of how you've changed and then your family dynamics change. Your relationship with your husband changes. Your relationship with your kids changes because of the growth that you're doing. So don't be discouraged if you enter into a new assignment, a new project, a new growth period with the Lord. He's establishing you. Do not look at, oh my gosh, my friends aren't even buying my stuff. My family's not even buying my stuff. Nobody believes in it. It must not be anything. No, if God tells you that this is what you're supposed to do, He's going to give you the courage. He's going to give you the boldness to do those things, but you have to be relying completely on Him. Because sometimes it's like He's proving you to other people. Like they're just like, you ain't never going to be somebody who speaks all over the world. Ain't nobody going to pay you to travel. Ain't nobody going to do this for you. Like, who do you think you are? Of all the people in the world, why would you be the one? And you're like, because God said so. And that's just the thing that you have to hold on to. And then later on, the amazing thing about that is the same people who may have doubted you or didn't believe in you or gossiped behind your back or left you as a friend, those same people, when they see what God has done to establish you, they're going to be the ones who are going to be like, wow, so encouraged. I knew them. Instead of being like, I know you, you ain't nobody, they're going to be like, wow, I know them. I know who they were. I know how they acted. I know where they came from. And this is happening for them. That is happening for them. It's going to be an inspiration for the people who choose to see it as an inspiration. But it's going to encourage many people to hear your testimony, to see God walking it out with you. But I think the main thing you have to hold on to is like God is at your side and He is proving you and He is testing you and He's refining you. And He's going to make sure that what He starts in you, He will be faithful to finish in you, and you cannot be afraid that other people don't believe it yet. You have to trust in God. And sometimes we go through those seasons of isolation where it's literally just you and Him, because He's like, your focus has to be on me because I need you untainted, unfiltered, unashamed, and unafraid. So I want to pray for you guys who God is maybe establishing you or you're afraid to go through that process. Let's go ahead and pray. Lord God, I thank you that you establish us, you order our steps because you created us and knit us together. I pray for those who are watching who may be very discouraged that they don't have the support that they thought they'd have, or they're very scared to even step out because what will people think? What will people say? Oh my gosh, I can't just up and change. Yes, you can. I pray that they get that courage and that they let go of any fears, any lies holding them back. In the name of Jesus, please show them step by step what to do. Show them in dreams and visions. Give them confirmation that, yes, this is where I called you to go. This is what I planned for you. Make it very clear to them, Lord, in the name of Jesus. I pray. Amen. So I hope you guys got something out of this. Let me know if this ministered to you or if you have any additional advice about what happens when God establishes you and just not being respected, not being believed, but going and pressing forward anyways. Until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye.